I haven't done any of the crime in the past.
Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Like, please.
One of the questions I was asked most after the second investigation was, why aren't these guys being arrested once they left? And I felt that we had some responsibility to at least examine a way where police could do a parallel investigation and these guys would face the criminal justice system once we got finished talking to them. We're talking about guys that brought everything from lubricant to condoms to alcohol to food, sex toys. You know, these guys were prepared to fulfill their fantasy. Instead, once they walked out, they were cuffed, taken away, interrogated, and prosecuted.
Your home address.
Do you have anything illegal on you?
No.
Do you have any drugs or anything like that? When's the last time you used speed?
I used it like 2 months ago, sir.
Is it 2 months ago usually means 2 days or 2 hours?
I am on probation for it.
What are you on probation for?
For possession in July, and that's the last time I used it. It's been a few months.
For possession of meth?
Yes. Yeah, I did use it an hour ago. Yeah. No, I'm not trying to get rid of it, sir. I really am not. I know it's the only because I have to sign up for a class. I hadn't used it since I got in trouble with it back in July.
You'll receive a date when you bail. They'll tell you when to appear in court.
What's your screen name? Daniel? The little line on the bottom? If I was gonna have sex with her, I would have brought condoms.
Okay. It doesn't look good for you because you're lying the whole time. We already have what you said. So when you say, wait, let me finish. When you say the whole time that all this was to have to come meet a girl to play video games, that's a lie. See, you're talking to this girl.
We're going into this room.
I'm doing it out of a fantasy, not out of. How can it be a fantasy when you send a picture of the penis to her?
I said, are the sex pics? And she said,
okay, 12 years old. The girl's 12 that you're talking to.
Once the men were arrested, they were taken to a makeshift booking area where they were interviewed by detectives. We were able to videotape that entire process, but I didn't get a chance to see it until afterwards. And it produced some compelling moments. I mean, especially when it came to, for instance, the man who was an agent with Homeland Security. He showed up while they were arresting somebody else. So they had to grab him in the street. I never got a chance to talk to him. His interview with police was very telling.
My father was a police officer. I was a police officer. I work for the Department of Homeland Security. Okay. I understand you guys have a job to do, and I'm not trying to tell you anything else other than that. I swear to God, as God is my witness, I'm wearing a St. Michael's medal right now. Okay. I was not going to do anything with her. May the Lord upstairs strike me dead.
Welcome to...
I had no intentions on doing anything.
We are at PG. We will conduct an investigation on people who like to go to hotels and meet people for criminal activity.
At some point, I swear to God, I'm sorry. It would have happened. Sir, I swear to God, it's not. I guarantee you, it would have happened. You're no different. All right, sir. Every other time, every guy. First time, third time meeting, fifth time meeting, it would have happened. Because you meet the first time, it's going to happen. There's no reason to meet at all. As reality sets in, dude. Look, yes, reality sets in right when I stepped out my front door. You're right, it did. Yeah, it did. And you're exactly right. That's what occurred. You know, the minute you stepped out your front door, and the only way headed toward heaven to meet with a 13-year-old girl to have sex, and that's where the crime occurred.
Whatever is that, you had a competition, right? But that's no problem. You have it, right?
Okay, I have it, but here's the thing, see, is that when it comes to the district attorney's office and what they're going to do to you, okay, listen to me. What they're going to do is that they want to see if somebody is sorry for what they did, if they know that they made a mistake and they owned up to it. But if you sit here and say, all we talked about was going to play video games, then guess what? They know that Singh is lying.
Speak with an attorney, have him present before any question. You cannot further report to hire an attorney when will be appointed to represent you before any question in immigration. Do you understand these rights? Having these rights in mind, you should talk to me.
Just days after Babst was confronted and arrested,
yes.
we find
I'm here
out
to make the bed for you.
he's back
I'm very sorry
Hello,
about
sir.
the inconvenience.
at the high school where he worked. And somehow, this slipped under the radar of authorities who didn't immediately report this to the school. Ultimately, it was reported to the school and he was suspended. But he taught just days after his arrest. Like nothing was going on.
Right there. Second row right there. Just walk in. Have a seat right there.
Over 3 days, 51 men showed up at our house in Riverside County, California. At one point, there was so much activity at the house, the sheriff's department actually runs out of manpower. They didn't have anybody available to make the arrest. After we did the first investigation, I thought maybe we'd do one more and that'd be it. But given how many men showed up, I started to think that we could probably do this in any town in America. And we'd always get guys showing up. And I figured there was a lot more work to be done. And that we'd be conducting future investigations. Did not stick out of the crowd.
I was watching you for like 10 minutes.
He walks in with pressed jeans. He's the kind of guy you'd see standing in line at the dry cleaners of the grocery store. He never stick out of the crowd. Clean-cut guy. But here we are on a Saturday morning, and we know that this guy is a teacher. We know how old he is. We know he's married. We know he has kids. Hey, how are you? Good. Would you have a seat right over there, please? And right away.
Come under arrest?
No, I want to talk to you. Go ahead, have a seat.
I knew it. Go ahead.
You know what? No, just sit tight. And what are you doing here?
Getting my ass kicked.
Getting your ass kicked?
Yeah. I knew it. I knew it was a setup.
No, I need you to sit down, please.
I need you to just arrest me, take me to jail, and execute.
I need to talk to you first.
And you know what? I didn't bring anything. I didn't want to do anything.
Fuck out of here now!
Whatever. Well, why did you come here, though? Help me to understand.
We gotta get into gear.
I'm a sick son of a bitch.
It's me. We're cool here.
I've never done
Let me know
it
if you
before.
find anything.
I talk about it online all the time.
Well, help me to understand. What? I mean, do you have a compulsion, an addiction to the internet?
I've never done anything with anybody except my wife. Ever.
Babst was very graphic. In a conversation he thought he was having with a 12-year-old girl. They talk about oral sex, they talk about intercourse, they talk about all the things they were going to do together and how he would teach her. And he says, I just chat about it. I just talk about it online. It's fantasy. But it ceased to be fantasy when he walked into our house. Now, who were you here to see?
I don't even know. And you know what? I'm going to ask you something. Am I under arrest?
You're not right now, no. But I need to ask you some more questions first. Now, you were here... No. I want you to sit down, please.
I need to go. Can I go?
I want to talk to you a little bit more first. Please just sit down. Would you like some water?
No, I'm about to puke.
I'm just... You were talking to a girl named Beth.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what? I don't know.
What did her profile say?
The profile said I'm in trouble.
The profile said she was how old?
She said 12 or 13.
12 or 13. So you know you were coming here for a 12 or 13-year-old girl.
I'm totally screwed. I know that. But it's...
Do you have kids? Well, how would you feel if some guy in his 40s walked into your house trying to hook up with your kids? What do you do for a living?
Hey, you. What the hell's going on here?
I'm in education.
You're in education. A teacher. What grade do you teach?
High school.
High school.
Yes.
We see men from all walks
Yeah,
of life.
I got him scared.
But when
You better
a
not come
teacher
back.
comes in, it's especially disturbing because obviously this guy has access to children. You got to wonder what's going on at school or after school. Please, just sit down.
I won't go anywhere. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go to jail.
But I need you just to stay by the bench there, please. What are you wearing? wearing at the moment. My boxers and tank top. I sleep in it.
Please don't read it. I know what it says.
And then he sent this, John. Is that appropriate in any way? You know, that's against the law right there.
Is it?
To transmit that to somebody who you think is underage? Yes, it is.
Transmit it, though. No, I didn't transmit that to her. May I ask?
Do you see my pic in the chat window? Yeah. Think you would like that in you? How big is it? Well, you saw. Go get a can of Coke. Dang, will it hurt? A little, yes, at first. Now, what conclusion am I supposed to draw here, John?
I can't sing it. I'll cry.
Well, there's pretty much from the get-go, Babs seems to realize that 12 different things can result from his showing up, and none of them are good. There's one thing you got to know first. But when I tell him that I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on computer predators. Now, if there's anything else you'd like to say, he knows that this is even worse than getting arrested. He knows that this is going to be on television. He's starting to figure out that this is going to impact his career as a teacher. And he's starting to figure out that this is not going to go over well at all at home.
Before the hired attorney will be appointed to represent you, one question will be raised. We understand the threats.
We have people from all walks of life, including an actor, driving up in a convertible sports car.
Catch predators.
He asks, you were asked, you not working? Because I'm rich, not rich, but enough to support myself comfortably. And not work, I do work, just not very often.
I'm with Dateline and NBC.
You gotta come and help. Hey, what's going on?
And television. And what do you do for movies and television? Like, as an actor? Yeah. He says, I want to be a model. You say, I can see that. You're sexy
To
really?
Catch the Predator with Dateline, MSNBC, Chris Hansen. This is one of the greatest shows ever made.
Can we blank each other? Totally. How many dudes you been with? So tell me what you want to do in the shower. And you get into detail about what you're going to do with him in the shower. And then you say, and you're not some cop on a sting operation. I mean, that indicates that you were worried that you were doing something wrong. I know. Right? I know.
I need help, please.
I normally don't meet guys as young as you. Indicating that maybe you've met other guys, just not normally as young as 13.
No.
So you said this.
What is this, sir? Did you do this?
You know, that's against the law. No, I'll take that back. That's against the law right there. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'm ashamed. I was going to turn around halfway, and then he calls, he's like, what are you? And I don't know, I just wasn't thinking right, and I thought it was terrible. And this was seriously the first time. And I knew I was taking a huge risk.
Yeah, looks like we're all clear.
So you knew what you were doing was wrong.
And I mean, when I got here, I was still kind of wondering, like, I probably shouldn't do this. And
why did you do it? Tell me what was going on in your mind.
I don't know, just...
I mean, do you have a compulsion, an addiction to this internet activity?
Actually, no. I mean, I go online, but it's, the majority just to talk and chat and all that. And, sometimes if I meet a guy, they are, at least over 18. And I normally have people come over to my place, and all that. And this was just the first time, and I don't know why I did it. And I know I introduced you as a big connect.
Well, you know how people will react when they see this. I mean, this does not look good.
I know. I'm scared.
So you're on television.
I haven't been in about 2 years.
What would I have seen you in on television?
Oh gosh, what is that? 13 Days was a show I was on. JAG, I've been standing on JAG. Movies I did. Godzilla, Pearl Harbor, I've Never Been Kissed, Crimson Tide. I was in a Will and Grace episode.
Chris, what would have happened if I hadn't been here? What would have gone on in this house? I mean, you sure sound like you knew here what you wanted to do. It sounds like you were revved up and ready to go. It's hard to draw any other conclusion from this. And there are a couple of different laws that have been broken here. The picture and using the internet with the intent to have sex with an underage person. I mean, what am I supposed to